Good morning everybody, thank you very much for joining me. Today's reading is going to be what are the lessons in this connection. Before I start, can I say a real big thank you to Ronnie Blank, who bought me these cards about 4 years ago. So thank you very much. They are lovely cards. They are called the Tarot of the Divine. And also thank you to Frisbee Liz Frisbee Liz for the title. So you can always give not recommendations, suggestions. I think that's the word, isn't it? I will try and do them. I can't promise, but I do try and do them. Yeah, okay, so let's go with this reading today. What are the lessons in this connection? Pile number 1 is the Chariot. Pile number 2 is the Devil. Not Shere Khan, what's the car, isn't it? Yeah. Pile number 3 is the Hermit. Okay, so if you want to choose your pile, and I will see you in a minute.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Okay, I'm going to start. I have some cards to put out yet, but let me just put 3 cards here. And I'll peel these over later, which is always harder for me, but yeah, just a challenge, just a little challenge. You can hear me umming and ahhing later on. I'm going to put these upside down. Okay, so what we've got here, you've got the Uranus is the overall astrological card. Uranus is the card of extremes. It does things fast. It does things, full on. It doesn't change its mind very easily. It's the planet of rebellion. When they see something that's unjust, they can put it's not all or nothing. They can put everything into a particular thought or ideal to an extreme. And they often say whatever Uranus, whatever Atlantis is, whether it is a past life that we've all experienced, whether it is a memory or whether it is just some form of consciousness or energy, I don't know. But it would have been the energy of Uranus, which would have been extremes, where people, and science as well, people are interested in science. They took it to the max, and in the end, it basically destroyed humanity. So that is not this spread. But what you have got is somebody who will jump to conclusions, somebody who is very independent and likes to. It is all or nothing in the case of a relationship. Like things fast, like things full on, like to feel excited. It's like a big dopamine rush. So there's a lesson in that. And to be honest, what the overlying theme will be in here is don't blow yourself up with regards to the excitement of this, as in trying to get more, and the lesson is to be steady. It's not trying to get too much, too quick, too soon, too exciting. Is there such thing as too exciting? I don't think so. But that's what it is here. The reason that I'm saying that is you have got the Knight of Pentacles in the centre. The Knight of Pentacles is the complete opposite to Uranus. Uranus tends to have the image of... There was an Instagram came through the other day, and it was one of those old-fashioned ones that was saying, I'm not saying I agree with this, to be honest, I haven't really thought about it that much, but was saying that in the 70s, 80s, there wasn't such a thing as ADHD. And, perhaps there wasn't. And I always say to my family, when I see somebody who most people would label as ADHD, I just say Uranus, because that's what it feels like. It just feels too much vibration going on in there. And maybe if you do believe in Uranus and the Atlantis story, and we at the moment are reliving those sort of memories, you're going to have more kids born with strong Uranus. And you can see in politics, you really can. And I have done some such interesting to myself remote viewings lately. which I will start to put shorts out, because I don't think anybody wants to hear a whole load of remote viewing, especially when it's at the beginning, but I'll put the interesting bits out soon. Okay, so Knight of Pentacles here with regard to this connection. It needs to be slow moving. Somebody's looking for fun, excitement, a quick fix. You have got the Two of Wands in the centre here, which is a fascinating card. So I haven't read for a while, and I have so many thoughts in between reading. Two of Wands is fascinating. The reason that it's fascinating is it's that spark. It's that spark normally of going against the grain, where you're thinking of something and it's like, okay, it's beginning to take action. Also with the Two of Wands, it can be almost that rub or that heat that you get when you meditate. It's your energy going the other way. Then normally our energy goes downwards and put into money, spending, Christmas, sex, shopping, eating, and it will be the lower chakras. But what you're supposed to do is that it's supposed to go upwards, and there's a normally heat generated with that. And if you are an older lady out there and you get hot flushes, have a little think about what that possibly is. It doesn't make it so bad, I guess. It's better going up than going down. So that's what you've got here. There's the excitement, the heat, the generation of something that feels like it's on the move. You've got here the wanting the thrill, but steady, steady, steady. Underneath this, you've got the Knight of Pentacles. Again, steady, steady, steady. It's to calm down. The lesson in here is to take the moment as it is and be in that moment. It's not to try and wonder, Uranus, what is coming next. Uranus, very strong in people that work in astrology, or that are interested in astrology, or people that are always projecting forward, and that can give you a sense of anxiety. And if we're here to learn lessons, it could often be said, I wouldn't say this, but it could be said, well, actually you deserve that until you wake up and realise that there is nothing but this very moment, which is what the earth people do very well. Very slow moving, very steady, very immersed in that very moment. That is the lesson, is to enjoy it for what it is in the moment. There may be more to this. You've got the Emperor. I don't know. I don't know. I've seen these bits, and that to me is just straight in my face. You've got the Emperor card and the Judgment card on either side of that. The Emperor card, both of these cards are big cards. Major arcana here. The Emperor is masculine energy that formulates plans. Steady. There's the earth and the fire there. You mix that together. It's somebody that starts something very well and sticks through it, and it's masculine, so that energy is outward. So you will see it in business and organising, whatever that means, rather than the High Priestess, which is inwards and feminine. The Judgment card here is a little bit like the tip. I know they've got to say the tipping point. You hear that so often. I did a reading on it. I find that term really interesting. I don't even know if I should go into why I find it interesting. This is what I think it is. I'm getting too old to be fanning around with not saying what I'm thinking. The tipping point, basically we're on that sort of process at the moment where people are meant to be changing, the energy is changing, and I think there's a group of people that try to manipulate it for their own good. And maybe that's what some people may use the tipping point as. Maybe they just don't understand it, I don't know. But yeah, it's knowing there's change coming and trying to make sure they get the best out of it, I would think. Anyway, so with regards to this reading, what we've got here is life-changing events. So you can take, it's like steam rising, this card here. It's like steam rising, and out of that rising there comes some form of karma, and it's coming out harder and faster. The Emperor card is taking the reins in this with regards to being assertive. I think it's you. I think that you're probably quite Aquarius, Uranus-y. I think that you like life to happen fast. You're always wondering what happens next. This is a big lesson that's very much needed at this particular moment. As I said, tipping point. It's got a lot to do with you being truthful with yourself and being very much in control of yourself. This particular moment is important to be immersed in what you can actually do in this very, very moment. Is that clumsy way of putting it? Okay, so you've got the Chariot card here and you've got the King of Swords. The Chariot card is strong will, very much a Uranus, Aquarius quality. And you've got here the King of Swords, again Aquarius. So I'm guessing you are very Aquarius. I'm guessing when you want something, you really want it, you're quite fixed with it, you will stick with it, and once you've started, you won't let it go, which is sort of mirrored up here. The Judgment card is quick lessons need to be learned. It's important now. And you've got here changing direction. It's slow yourself down and find the balance. You've got here almost a feeling, I can't explain this, but I feel what it is. It's like the quicker you do it, the less likely you can think about it. Which is these cards here, which is thought and thought here. This is being shut out of a situation and this is being blocked, and that may be your biggest nightmare. To not have that motion, that rhythm, that excitement in life in general, and I can understand that totally. And with the Temperance card here the Temperance card is always the message of you. It's a bit like Chiron really, being in between Saturn and Uranus. Saturn, the Earth, slow, moving but very, very steady, and Uranus is spirit, which is fast, and Chiron is the healing ground in between. It's like when you realise that you're spirit but you're actually in an earthly world. You realise you're spirit, Uranus, but you're in an earthly world, so you have to live it, and the lessons here need to be understood now. And the Temperance card is in between those two worlds. Normally this was an angel with balance, with a triangle where everything is steady and balanced, and you've got one foot on the ground, one foot in the water, so it's in between those two worlds, the spirit and the earth, hence why it feels Chiron. Okay, so the lessons in this connection so far, I haven't looked at these, are for you to enjoy it for what it is. To not try and think forward what you want from it, what this person will do next, to daydream too much about them, to fantasize about them, to look at their chart 50 times a day. That's not needed. This is basically to turn up and enjoy talking to them, enjoy the meal, the earthy things, enjoy the touch, the contact, and to sort of settle down with the connection, to not overthink it. Here's control, here's the mind, here's Uranus. Uranus type people are fascinating to listen to because they can often be very bright, but they're often very much a little bit ahead of everything. And so they can, not so much at the moment, but they have been possibly in the past a bit ignored or just thought you're a bit bonkers, unless they've been incredibly scientific and be able to meet the middle ground here. The Emperor card and the Judgment card, times are changing. You've got to basically be on top of that. You're still here. So you've got to try and centre this to make it work for you. And there's a huge change needed here to do that. It's not like, say, oh yeah, no, I can do that, and then just carry on in the same vein. And just to tell you what this will look like with regards to the lessons that you need to learn, it will look like you're listening, and you should be listening. It will look like you're not thinking ahead, well, what if they don't like me tomorrow? Or what happens if they meet somebody else? Or if you're with them now, you're meant to be with them now at this particular moment. It will look steady, it will look calm, it will look like you can smile without being jittery, which is very much this energy. Because the anxiety, I'm going to term anxiety, it isn't always, has projected forward to think, oh my gosh, have I got my pants hanging out? Pants in Britain are basically underwear. Have I got the tag hanging out? Or, oh my God, has my hair gone frizzy? It's like, no, you can't do that. It's just you're there. And I'm wondering if you've got this, whether your person has these qualities in them, so there's something very smoothing about them to be with them. Let's have a look at these ones over here. So helping hands here, what can you do? You've got to make some changes that will feel huge, and you will feel like you've lost. And there's something in that, and I think that is very much part of that tipping point that I talked about, that change that we're all in now. To move forward as a spiritual person, you're going to have to lose. Because we're playing games in a world where to win is not going to help us. It's not a game, it's not something we need to win. To be the best, the loudest, the biggest, the most sexy, the one that everybody loves, the one that everybody sees. It's not. It's that something has to be, because this is quite difficult as well with the Seven of Swords down here, which is control and also changing a different path. It's almost like you have to not brush your hair, to not try and look good for this person, just to turn up and be with them and see how they react. It's all the armour that we basically put around ourselves to be loved. You've got to be dropped. And the Ace of Wands, again, is a feeling I got with the Emperor card up here. Action is important, but not in a way that it's to fulfill your ego, to make sure that you get what you want out of it. It's to be proactive with regards to where you want to go in life, the direction you want to go, if you want to make a move towards this person. Do it with control, be sincere, be centered, and let go of the game. Let go of the ego, which is such fun. It's be earthy. It's very difficult to explain. Before I go, I'll give you an example. Uranus talking to an earthy person is two different basically languages. The Uranus person, eyes flick sideways and forwards, and they're trying to think of what to say next. And just because they don't want an empty silence, just because they want to keep it stimulating, and just because in some ways it depends on the person, they don't want to be bored. Speaking to somebody who is very earthy, which is where you should be going, is slow and meticulous and detailed and very relaxing. This person here, if it's not functioning, will find this person boring. This person here will think this person needs to be put away somewhere. So what I've got here in my summary is what are the lessons in this connection. I fear, I was going to say feel though, I'm going to say fear to make it more exciting, that this is you. I feel this is you is what I was going to say. There is a spark going on in here, or on between you, that is being projected forward by you, an excitement that you want to live in. This is saying just be with that person. Not plan. Know what you want, aim for it, and be there and be steady. Do not think ahead, do not think backwards. Be in the moment. This is going to be a big shift inside you. It's not something you can tell yourself and it will come naturally because of these cards here. And then act on it. Move towards this person. Just be with that particular moment that you're with them. And that will give you what I guess is an insight in how to ground spirit. Your spirit, to ground it. Just to be in that moment, and that's what it is. I'm sure there's somebody floating around up in the ether up there that could have said that in a much clearer way, but that's exactly what it is. It's to ground your spirit, to be awake in the moment, to be with this person for the lesson that they will present to you. Your lesson is to be there to actually experience it, rather than to be thinking ahead what's next. Okay, I'm going to leave that there, pile number 1. I hope that makes sense. Thank you very much. If you like the readings, check out the website. It's HULUPPU.co.uk. I have a Patreon as well, which I've got tarot readings on there which I put up weekly and suggestions. I'm also going to do a remote viewing introduction and introduction and sharing really of experiences. So check that out. To sound bossy. Check it out. Oh dear, sales isn't my forte. Sales is not my forte. The reason I say that is because I think if you like it, you would check it out naturally. That's what I do. When somebody tells me to do it, I'm like, oh no, perhaps I know what I'm doing anyway. But people are different. Check it out. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thanks, Power One. Bye. Okay, I'm going to put a couple more cards out, but I'm going to start talking at the same time. The lessons in here are very, I was going to say childlike, which I think that may be right. It's to play. It's to experience and to not worry is part of the lessons here. Let me just put one more card down here. There's a feeling in this pile here that you, maybe both of you, can sense that there is what will feel like a lot at stake in this, or that a lot at stake. Is that right? There's a lot at stake. Yeah, that sounds wrong. There's a lot at stake. All I could see was a stake in my head when I was saying it. There's a lot at stake in this, which can feel like a karmic feeling as well, which it possibly is, because you've got the nine of swords here, which is often some sort of midnight trauma, where there is something negative that seeps into the mind somehow. It doesn't have to be negative to start off with. It can be attraction that comes into your dreams. But then, as we all know, and we've all experienced this, you can hardly talk to the person the next day because you've dreamt about them. It's that type of feeling. You've got the Queen of Swords here and the Two of Wands on this side. It's something to do with thinking. Queen of Swords is very intellectual, very good at analysing, but finds it difficult to get involved in life to some extent. The Two of Wands can get involved but almost sits on the edge. I was saying in the first reading, the Two of Wands is a little bit like that spark that rubs together, and I was talking about energy that goes downwards. You know, energy when it flows downwards, we are over fascinated with sex, money, finances, power, because it's all those lower chakras being stimulated. When it goes upwards, it will change for the opposite, but can often be accompanied by that heat, that spark. When you meditate, you can feel it. And as I said in the first reading, you know, women at a certain age, hot flushes don't actually have to be a negative connotation that you need to take tablets, I would guess. Tablets, well, what are they? Estrogen, wouldn't it? Yeah. You know, it could basically, I don't know this, but it could basically just be the energy going a different direction, which is good. It is good. So here we've got the Two of Wands again, and you've got the Star card. So to me, it's just saying the same thing. It's like having what I guess is energy going in the right direction. That spark, wondering what's happening next, but you're having what I guess are premonitions, dreams, deja vu, feelings of a strong karmic connection. And I think you're over-analysing them there. I'm not saying it's in a bad way. It just is. I would do the same. I love the mind and how it works. I love the mind. Now that sounds ridiculous. I love to think. I do. I find it really interesting. It's like it is overanalyzing. Here you've got what I guess is more fluid, not fluids, fluid, and the Page of Wands here. It's action, it's attraction, and the lovely centre card here, the Wheel of Fortune, is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, I was thinking about this morning very early. Sagittarius, mountains, it's like sulfur. It's, if you've ever taken equivalent of sulfur, which I'm thinking is MSM, you feel like a Sagittarius. When you have a Jupiter contact, it feels Sagittarian to you. You feel like a Sagittarius. And it feels devilish in the best possible way. It's like, well, let's have a go anyway. It could be fun. And that is the lesson in here for both of you. It's to make it fun, make it exciting. It's not so much to be in the moment, because that was the first one, but it is. But it's laugh, it's joke, it's the attraction, the physical pull. I've got so many thoughts here, which I often have to stop myself from sidetracking too much, and I don't know whether the stories are that interesting. But this is a very quick one. My brother went to New Zealand and he met somebody who was very interested in the occult. Her father was what she said was like a Satanist or something like that. There were stories with that. And they did lots of like Ouija boards and things like that. She said one of the biggest messages she got from a medium, I don't know whether it's a medium or Ouija board or whatever, was that she needs to just enjoy sex. Should not think too much about it, which is these cards here. There's something in here because of this card so close to the Sagittarian card. The Page of Swords is also, an image of like procreation. Doesn't mean to get pregnant, but it's like to just enjoy sex. And to have the Six of Wands underneath this, which is like a show-off card. It's like victory. I'm glorious. I love my body. I am attractive. And then you've got this, isn't it planked? Is that the word? Flanked, isn't it? With the Hangman on this side and this side, which is watching, waiting. The star card can feel the same, as if it's a bit overthinking, over intuiting. This is just sexy in the moment, like a Sagittarian. Only a Sagittarian can do that. And the confidence that the average Sagittarian has is amazing to watch, because they don't overthink. I'm here, I'm in my body. Life can have something positive happening in every moment. I'm going to make sure that it does. And that is this what's going on here. And the lesson is to feel like that, is to act in this relationship like a Sagittarian, like Jupiter energy. Everything will turn out all right in the wash. I've got a lot of energy. I'm going to immerse it in this for as long as it takes, as long as I lose interest. So Sagittarius, Jupiter energy doesn't think, what are they going to get married, or what will be ahead? And I mean, there'll be mixtures in people's charts. It's more a case of, will this next hour be fun? That is the lesson in it, to just let go of analysing, wondering whether it's karmic, wondering whether they feel the same, because the confidence and the fire in Sagittarius pushes forward anyway. And they will expect you to say, actually, no, I'm not attracted, because they will still keep pushing and pushing. True Sagittarians, like all the way through. Because they will. That's the energy. That's what it feels like to experiment with sulfur or with MSM. It honestly makes you feel like you're the Hulk, and it is such fun. But don't do it, because it takes all the copper and the iron out of your body, and that is lethal. For another time, but yeah. So the lessons in this connection are to not care, to play, to laugh, to joke, go and bet on the horses together, to enjoy your body. Just to start things off for the sake of starting things off, not to wonder what's going to come next. And the Mercury card over here is playfulness. If you put these two cards together, it can be exaggerating Mercury and Jupiter together. It can be hamming things up a bit, but a lot of the time it's complementing. A lot of the time it is suggestible. It's suggesting things. We could do this together. We could do that together, without climbing up and thinking, God, is that a good thing to suggest? Mercury Sagittarius, Mercury Jupiter is exaggeration. It's anything with Jupiter in it. The word excess always comes to mind, but it could be excess generosity, excess kindness, excess sexiness. It's being in love with your body, being in love with who you are at that moment, and just being in the moment. But it's not like Earth. It's like being in the moment and playing with life. And that is basically, there's bits in the Bible. I haven't read the Bible since it used to be left by my bed, and when I used to read Revelations every night. I was tiny little red ones around that big when I had eyes. Actually, no, I still haven't got eyes. And there is something in there about being like a child, and that's exactly what it will feel like. To communicate, to talk, to suggest, to be welcoming, to be playful. Yeah, I mean, who knows how long we're all going to be here? Why would you still be waiting? Why would you be wondering whether it's karmic? Because you'll know we'll all know when we're not here. And the Star card and the Hangman, very wise, but wisdom is part of Jupiter, to be honest. It is one of the wiser signs, but it's wise because it is in the moment, and it's wise because it's inclusive. That's what you need to be. Maybe as well, to translate this more to everyday events, is to be included with other groups, to go out more with this person, to suggest something that doesn't have to always be, will this end up in a relationship? Why don't you just go to do something together in a group, with other people around, and make it easy going and just be there in that moment and see how it goes. But enjoy your physicality. Be at home in your body and just go for it, really. I don't like this flanking business here. This is more like wondering whether there's a loss. And you've got here, the Two of Wands here, and here is like trying to project forward, holding the crystal ball, wondering what will happen next. And this is like negative here to this negative down here. Is like, I can actually, in my mind, predict something difficult happening next. It's like, you don't need to, you need to do this. Just be. Fun, laughter, joke, playful. Who's got Sagittarius friends out there? I'm talking to you now. I feel like I am. Who has got them? Aren't they funny? They are. They're playful. They're the ones that start things off, make the night funny, make you laugh when they come around for a cup of tea, tell you grand stories of adventures that they've just basically, they're like Walter Mitty. They'll insult you, yeah. But yeah, that's what you need to be. The Walter Mitty of love. Here we've got cards to show you how this may come along. There's healing, there's being tied, there's wanting something closer here, and the Hermit card is going inside yourself a bit, which we've got over here and we've got over here as well. I wonder if you have got lots of air in you where it's automatic to try and protect, to try and understand. And this is sort of saying this has to be, what you're actually doing is you're not protecting, you're tying yourself in, you're restricting yourself. It's time for us all to start changing a little bit now. This is very much healing, to do with mind control, is in your own control, in your own mind and your speech. And this is wanting things to be more attached. Cancer, like a Cancer relationship, where it's very sort of clinging, very strong, very sort of motherly, very caring. And the Hermit card here is the ability to go inwards a little bit with yourself and to overanalyze, and it needs to be dropped. If you're shy, if you're introverted, you've got to approach this as in, the best way that you possibly can to move away from the Hermit and move away from these. It's okay to understand it, but to still take tiny steps forward. You don't have to run into this and say, I've got a glorious body, do you want it? Which these cards here are actually saying that in the centre. What you could do is to temper it down, because to have that Hermit card squashes this a little bit and it's still asking for this bigness in here, is that you could be more proactive. You could be less wondering what happens at the end of the night, wondering whether this person actually does want to be with you. It's just playing for that moment. Like kids go out and play. You go knock on a friend's door and you end up in a group, and it's like you may jump onto somebody else, not literally, but you may jump to another, I'm thinking like when you're 5 or 6, with another friend, and it's like not wondering whether the other one's all right. It just is more movement. That is what I've got here. Let me start summing it up. What are the lessons to be learned in this connection? It's to stop going inward, stop overanalyzing, stop wondering whether it's karmic, stop wondering where it's going to be in a year's time, whether this person has feelings towards you, and just be in it and be playful as much as you can for your own personality, to still have some grounds of comfort and some feeling of slight bit of uncomfortableness here. Because that is what is wanted here. To be proud of your body, who you are, dress to make yourself happy, dress to show your best bits, but you're doing it for yourself, not for the other person. And to play, to laugh, to joke, to compliment, to give your energy outwards, to be involved in the moment in a very sort of laughing, joking, smiley, playful way. That is a lesson to be learned, to let go of the wondering, the analysing, the internal in here. Doesn't mean I'm trying to make an introvert into an extrovert. What I'm trying to do is make somebody who's too inward looking, just give their energy out and enjoy it. And you can do that in a very subtle way, if that sounds frightening to you. That's what I've got. Okay, I'm going to leave you there, pile number 2. If you like the readings, please check out the website. It is huluppu.co.uk. And I have Patreon. I do have a Patreon where I put readings up weekly and suggestions, and I am thinking, I have it prepared, doing an introduction to remote viewing, because that has blown me away recently. Okay, thank you and bye. Okay, oh, one more card, hold on. Got myself overexcited then. Lessons in this connection. Let me see what this card is, but I know what I'm going to say next. Yeah, no, I am. Love hurts. Love hurts. Love has to be controlled. Love has to be powerful. And Pluto oftentimes is it's the most fascinating planet. It takes a lot to get through a Pluto transit that's difficult. But oftentimes the lessons are big but unwanted at that particular time. Something's taken away from you. you feel like you're scrabbling to keep your ego intact, almost like you feel like you can be destroyed, your personality is going to disappear. And that's where the lessons normally feel quite big. Control, power, sometimes abuse as well. And you've got here the Six of Swords here, which to me always feels like a chironic card. It's like a journey where we become more aware of who we're meant to be, and there's nothing like Pluto to give you a journey. You've got here holding on. So this is, what are the lessons? I would expect myself to say, to let it go. I would expect myself just to normally say, experience it, just be in the moment. This is saying there's different ways of experiencing it. You don't have to give everything at once. Underneath here, you've got the Devil card. That's not me quacking. Here you've got the Devil card down here, which very much goes with the Plutonic type feeling of what can feel like you can maybe get very obsessive. Maybe there is an element of control that you expect to have in a relationship, which could be flicking back from your relationship with one of your parents, if not both of your parents, or perhaps an early relationship here. So I think your expectations are quite difficult at the beginning of a connection. You're wary, you're expecting something to go wrong, but it doesn't stop you from falling. And I think that's where the difficulty may be. To me, this is like, do you know when you know somebody young and they're going for an interview and you say to them, this is what I say, don't forget you're interviewing them. That's what that means to me. Even though you may be falling fast, you might have heavy Pluto in your chart, and that is part of who you are, but you are interviewing them. Doesn't mean you're immersed with them straight away. And if you're very fixed, like Aquarius or Scorpio, you immerse very quickly into people. You don't like to change your mind once you've decided, because you could be very choosy, and so you think, okay, that's the one. I've chosen and I've counted to 10. But to stop doing that, to not give everything away. It's not being cool and contracted. It's like learn your lessons that you've had in past relationships. Just because you're there and you've decided that person may be for you, it may not. But don't give them all to begin with. Let me see what else you've got here. You've got the Ace of Cups again with the Pluto and the Devil card down here. To me, it's like you fall in love big. The Two of Pentacles is normally like options, and you've got it twice down here. Again, there will be options. It's difficult to explain because if you're not very fixed yourself, it's like, well, I don't understand. Sorry, that quacking is normally bad news to me. It's normally my bank. But it could be EE. It could be EE. What was I saying? Oh yeah, if you aren't fixed, you could be thinking, oh, I don't understand what she's on about. If you are fixed, you will know what I'm talking about here, because it does feel that I don't make many choices in my life, and you can see that in the clothes that fixed people wear. The same thing over and over again. I'm quite fixed. I do wear the same thing. I have like the same type of top. I like a good stripy top. I like a good long sleeve top. And so I've got like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, say of the same thing. It's like the Fly. You've seen the Fly when he's like all the suits are the same. So it will be the same with partners. So you don't choose that often. You don't buy a lot of clothes, but when you do buy, it's got to last, and it's the same as it was before, and it will be the same with partners. So when you do find somebody, this clamps down like a flipping claw. The Devil card is like wrapping them in with rope, and this is sort of saying that's okay if that's the way that you do things, but you don't have to give everything to that person just because your mind has decided, because it's your nature, that is the one. It's to have a little bit more of an easy, breezy touch on things. There are options. You've got here a woman who's very sort of controlled, very sort of organised, very sort of self-satisfied in the wall that she's in, fixed. As I'm saying all this fixity, let's just say, all this talk that we get at the moment about moving into different dimensions or different energy, just energy feelings, which I think there's something in that. Because the way that I feel now, when I said that 2006 is going to be a year of change, it's like it very much could be. When I was saying it 4 or 5 years ago, I was like, I think that's going to be right. And it's like, okay, here we are. It almost feels tense, doesn't it? I forgot what I was going to say then. Oh yeah, if you are a certain personality type, it seems almost incomprehensible to be anything but that. And what the lessons will be over this next year is just to let it go, to surrender. And that does sound like a new age word, but let's just think of a different one then. It's to dribble away who you think you are. Oh, a stripe. It's to dribble away who you think you are. Just let it, just let it go. Big mama. Morning, noon and night. Not really, but you've got here some form of conflict. And to me, that feels like you fight with yourself because you've got a strong personality. It's like trying to hold on to who you think you are. It's really interesting. Maybe you fight with others as well, because you like to know who you are and your security, and that's okay. Okay, let's keep going. I don't know yet. The moon card is complete opposite. The moon card is slippery, and you've got cards here of working with people. I thought I saw that. No, it's not. It's Knight of Cups. It's working with people as a group. Okay. This is what it is. I don't know what these cards are here yet. I think that you are transforming at this very moment, and we're looking at the lesson in this connection. I think there are huge shifts coming. I felt it in Power 1 as well. That the lessons here may become more intense. There's a lesson here of accepting yourself as you are at this moment as absolutely perfect in the correct place for who you want to be. I think that you feel strongly and you attach quickly and intensely too. I also think that there may be a fear with that, because once you've done that, you think that if you get scuppered in any way, or if somebody turns around and say, well, actually, I don't feel the same, your little heart will break. There's a timing in this it's okay to fall in love like that. It's fine, but realise that it's a game. Realise it's the game that you enjoy playing because you like the intensity here. There is some security in that, but there's also more fight in that as well. It doesn't always work for you, but to protect yourself, to not give too much away, don't demand too much. This isn't the cards. I'm just trying to make this fair. If you're protecting yourself, that you can't demand too much from the other person either. You don't have to confess undying love to begin with. You don't have to decide in a fixed way, this is the one for me. And you're talking to them on the third or fourth night and they sound like a complete arse. No, I've decided they're the one for me. I'm going to overlook that, which is what fixed people do and can sometimes go down difficult relationships. Be more mutable, be more flexible in this connection. Laugh a little bit more with regards to the parts of their personality that aren't particularly great. And you have the ability to make those choices later on. I don't know what this means to you. And this is like walking away from something you've outgrown. You may outgrow that. It's really difficult unless you're fixed or strong or Scorpionic or Aquarius, maybe Taurus as well. When you attach, you really attach, but it's not working for you totally. It can be too intense. And then you basically give too much of and I don't mean words, I don't mean like your body, you just emotionally, possibly, and energetically, definitely give too much of yourself to the situation. It's like, hold back, decide later on, play with it. Let's have a look at these, see helping hands. The Lover's card, the Strength, these are all major arcana here. This makes it feel like it's an important lesson for you. Again, you've got the connection here. You've got the Strength card. The big lessons in here are, the Strength card is don't act like an animal, basically. Which is basically saying, in my mind, it's like Pepe Le Pew. Found something, want it, gonna go for it. Not gonna let go. It's like seeing somebody as changeable as well. The Lover's card here again is mutability. It's Gemini. It's the option to be attracted to somebody and change your mind later. And you've got here the Hangman. There are lessons in the way that you are now and where you're going to move towards. Sorry, this is quite complicated. And to love. The Knight of Cups is romance with a passive, gentle touch to it. So, to start summing this up so it makes sense for me too, what are the lessons in this connection? Is to recognise your personality and the strength that you like to attach, to not give energetically too much away of yourself to begin with, to watch the person and without judging but observing, see their personality develop as you get to know them some more. And enjoy it for what it is and not be disappointed, because they will reveal bits. And to work as part of a team, to not have the intensity of just one-on-one all the time. This made me think of group situations, and to remember that if you don't give too much energetically, you don't think that you've immersed too much and you're going to lose that much, it's easier to walk away if it doesn't work. It's to have basically a lighter touch in this, which, to be honest, has been in very different ways, has been power 1, 2 and 3. And as I keep saying, I wonder if times are changing, that it is time to basically be a little bit more fluid in ourselves and not be attached to the personalities that we've chosen through lifetimes and lifetimes, to see it as a bit more of a joke. Lighten up, really. Yeah, that's what I've got here. Recognise your personality and your strength of contact. To not give too, I'm not going to repeat it again, to not give too much away of yourself so that you can observe and not feel like you're losing something and walk away. And to be more passive but gentle with your love. And that may go both ways. You will know who I'm talking about as I'm saying this, but I assume I'm talking to you watching, but I don't know. It could be the way around, only you will know that. So I'm going to leave that there. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you enjoy the readings. If you do, check out my website, huluppu.co.uk. I also have a Patreon with weekly readings on it. And I also have upcoming, as in it will be done in the next few days, hopefully. I'm putting a remote viewing section on Patreon too. So with an introduction on how to do it and how to play with it, really, carry on playing with it. So if you like the sound of that, please check it out. Thank you very much. Bye.